better? Do I sound a little better? Sarah says yes. I'll move the mic a little closer. Good to see you guys. Yeah, it looks like the chat is kind of working. You're still soft. Well, you know what? If I'm soft, let's move that up just a hair. Alrighty, so tonight we are talking about, what's this year done? What's going on? Like, all right, let's bring up the puppy. I got to bring up the puppy. All right, yeah, let's bring up the puppy. There's the puppy. Yeah, let's bring up the puppy. So this year has been such a whirlwind when it comes to, our lives. And, back in March, we were all kind of like, okay, what are we going to do? I'm ready to go do stuff. We had an excellent summer planned. I know people who have a wedding planned. We all kind of had this plan in place that we were going to do, and then all of a sudden the entire country just crashed. And when it crashed, we all decided, hey, you know what? We're stuck in the house. We're all stuck in the house. We're not going to do anything. Let's go ahead and get a dog. All right, let's go ahead and get a dog. Now, there are some people who are actually in this chat right now that got multiple dogs. There's some people in this chat, actually, let me change that because this is coming up really bad. Always show message. There we go. There we go. There are some people that are in this chat that got 2 puppies that are Great Danes. Oh my gosh. All right, which we actually knew about them. And by the way, I went and saw them, and they are enormously huge, and they are fabulously amazing. But there are some people who, who didn't get those, and they just got a basic dog that they rescued from the shelter, or they got a puppy that they rescued from the shelter, or they went to a breeder and they got a dog. And it turned out this pandemic that we're having is now become a puppy party like we have seen no other. All right, we have this massive puppy party. Now, since we have a massive puppy party, that's one of those things where, okay, the puppy party is great and all, but at the end of the day, what do you do about your training? What do you do about your scheduling? What do you do about all sorts of levels that your dog needs stimulated before they're even 13 to 15 weeks old, which starts the fight or flight stage of a dog's development? And if you didn't know that, now what's going to happen when now you had that little puppy back in March, jump ahead, it's now 8 months old, and I'm sitting here thinking about Charisse, and she has 200 pounds of dog in front of her, which she has 2 giant dogs, and she goes back to work. And these dogs know nothing else other than her by her side. That makes this very, very difficult. That makes this one of those things that, you know what? Now we have puppies that pet parents felt all day long, I need my dog by my side. I need to have these people. I need to be with them. I need my dog to be on my lap while I'm working. I got my dog to be my partner. I got my dog to, be a friend of mine. But you know what? At the end of the day, people didn't do any kind of structure training that we teach in our dog training classes. One of the very first things, if any of my students are watching, one of the very first things that I did when I started was I made sure everybody got a midday nap. I'm just messing with these. Those midday naps are something that are so critical for any puppy that is in training. If anyone in the chat can tell me if they got a puppy between the times, well, any time in 2019, let me know in the chat if you got a puppy. And I already know we're gonna get 2 thumbs up. I already know of 2. Definitely 2. But if you got a puppy in 2019 or 2020, what is going on outside my house? People need to just leave me alone. Oh, it's the kitty cats. Kitty cats on the table. So if you got a puppy in 2020, you got what's called a COVID puppy. All right. No matter what you say, think, do, that is what your dog is going to be labeled as. And a COVID puppy means your dog's going to have separation anxiety. That's pretty much a known fact. About 90% of every single dog that I've had in class since I've been back, wow, that is super obnoxious. Every single dog since I've had in class, since I've been back, has had some sort of separation anxiety. And Charisse got 2 Great Danes, and they're both going to be service dogs, and they're giant. And for that, I give you a giant boom on the chat. God bless you. 2 Great Danes. That's crazy. You know, that's something that that is, well, you know, and the good part is she's with them all the time. She's always going to be with them, so it's a little different. She's not going to have that separation issue. But you know what? 90% of students right now in class, their dogs are having some sort of separation anxiety. And what's the cause of that? The cause of the separation anxiety isn't the fact that they're not doing training. It's the fact that they're not letting their dogs have those midday naps. One of the most important parts of a dog's development is learning separation. That's huge. It's huge. Cindy just said Tulip is 15 and still has issues with separation anxiety. And Tulip was one that she was horrible. Tulip is a Pomeranian. She's gorgeous. But she had severe separation anxiety when she first came to me, and she would not go in a crate, and now she at least is getting better. But, you know, Cindy was working at home. She works at a law office. So she was working at home the entire time COVID was going on. So the dogs get used to you, and the cats get used to you. And those are all things that cause problems, and it's a major, major disruption in a dog's life. All right? So just to give you some fun facts, yes, that is an iPad, and yes, that is glorious. That's part of my new setup here. So what we have here is this is the official Humane Society breakdown of what causes separation anxiety. All right, you know, these are things that we've never really talked about. We've never really dove into the fact that, or not even the fact that, or the fact what is separation anxiety. There are so multiple levels of separation anxiety that, you know, your basic trainers next year are not going to be able to handle. They're not going to be able to handle it at all. So let's take a look at what is considered separation anxiety. So on this page, this is just humanesociety.org. It's their basic page. It's right there. All right. So digging, scratching at a door, attempting to reunite with their owners. Right. We understand that part. Destructive chewing, howling, barking, whining, urinating slash defecating, Even otherwise, if a dog is house trained. All right, we kind of understand that's what separation anxiety is, but there's so much more. That's your basic. All right, what causes separation anxiety? This is not fully understood why dogs suffer from separation anxiety, but it is basically in response to your dog thinking you're punishing them for leaving. That's kind of makes sense, all right? So what do we do? What do we say? I would say that there's the triggers for separation anxiety are so many different levels. You can't even really try to do that. They have on here how to treat minor separation anxiety, which if you look right there, that says how to treat minor separation anxiety. I don't agree with a lot of the things they're doing. I'm pretty much just going to say that, let's go back to the puppy picture because that picture's adorable. It's not a matter of how do you treat it, it's how do you cope with it. How do you give your dog the confidence to truly be able to kind of overcome those fears? It's the fear of being alone. Well, the first thing you got to do is make them feel like they're not alone. So some basic training tools you can do. We have a TV. We know dogs like hearing us in the background. So put a news channel on, CNN or Fox News or one of the news channels, and have that playing lightly in the room that the dog is in. Number 2, why don't you go ahead and, have some things available for your dog? Now, I wouldn't do things like a dog bed, but I would put a towel in their crate to make them a little more comfortable. You might even think about covering their crate or putting your dog's crate in a place that is kind of dark. Maybe you have a closet that you can put a fan in, and it will help cover the dog to make them feel like it's nighttime. But you're going to only start out doing that in just very, very small segments. And Sarah just said in the chat that Animal Planet is a great thing. I think I told you that years ago. Animal Planet, in their actual programming, has soothing sounds for dogs, which help calm dogs down. They have those plug-in things. They have the calming collars. There's all different things you can use, but that's just for minor separation anxiety. We're going to see things coming up this winter that are going to be major separation anxiety. We're going to see dogs that are going to hate going in their crates, that are going to have so many issues. And that's why I'm having this chat with you tonight, because this way we're able to truly be able to help those dogs. I'm going to give Sarah a big review because she was 100% correct about that separation anxiety and the Animal Planet. I'm pretty impressed she remembered that. That's kind of a big deal. Anyway, that's pretty much all I got for tonight. It's good to catch up with you guys. One of the things you want to make sure you do, let's talk about a little bit about that. So one of the things you want to make sure you do is, one, you want to make sure you have a game plan. You want to make sure you have a structure for your dog. Your dog should live in a 12-hour cycle. You should feed them at 7 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock at night, 12 hours apart. You should have everything basically following per T, even on Saturday and Sundays. They don't know that they're days of the week. They don't know that Monday is an actual thing. We all dread Mondays. They don't understand that Tuesday night is live chat night with Adam. They don't understand any of that stuff. What they get is your attention, because dogs ultimately want attention in life. That is it. So if you don't do this properly, you could really be hurting your dog. So in the daily structure of your day, you need to set up a crate time for your dog, which isn't basically an afternoon nap, which is something that our friend Cerise here in the chat, who is moderator of this channel, has basically done with every single one of her dogs since day one. She has always given her dogs a midday nap, and now her dogs are phenomenal in a crate, no matter what age, how long, because she's created that structure for the dogs to understand. That's perfect. You know, following my words to a T, and now her house is harmoniously balanced, which is, that's really what it's about. To have a balanced home is to help the dog have a balanced life. That's huge. All right, so set up your structure, set up your house, turn your TVs on, give your dog that little bit of companionship, slow down and watch your dog and let them train through that. Let them train through that instead of struggle. All right, let's go ahead and say hello to some of these people in the chat. I don't know who 2K subs with no video is. I don't know. They keep getting blocked by the moderator team. It says I am human, but yeah, I don't know. Cindy says all the animals we know on the schedule. Goodbye sleeping in on the weekends. Well, yeah, so goodbye to sleeping in on the weekends. That, you know, that's part of, like, when we have kids, we got, you know, you kind of got to get used to it. You know, Susie, I know you have your Pomeranian, which is adorable. Charisse is here, obviously. She has the Great Danes, and she has a Belgian Malinois. Yeah, and she has one of the dogs that's actually in my opening picture videos, so she's probably noticing that. You know, I know Jenny's here. She's a groomer for Petco. Let's see who else is here in the chat. I don't know if anyone else is here. We had a lot of people pop in the original. You know, so tell us what your stories have been when I'm not leaving. Tell us what your stories have been. And oh, Sarah's here. Yeah, that's right. While you've been doing this COVID thing, did you actually stay home? Were you an essential worker? And thank you for being an essential worker. And you know, honestly, what have you done to really help your dog going forward with their training while you're sitting at home? Because I wasn't able to do videos, which I need to apologize to all of you, because you know what? Videos I like to do as an outlet for myself, and I was furloughed, and I was not able to get products, and I'm still not able to get products for review. I have one product I am supposed to review, and that is a dog food made out of crickets. That's right. That's gonna happen. It's sitting right over there. It's been over there for months, and I felt horrible. The company sent it to me. Like, I was so excited to check it out. I have this great vision in my head of what I want to do, and I can't get another dog food to compare it to because they're not sending out samples. You know, so that makes it rough. So, like, everything came to a halt. So what have you been doing? What have you guys been up to? Did anyone get a puppy, or anybody's friends get a puppy? Anybody know anyone that got puppies? Anyone get a cat? Anyone get a dog? What? You tell me. Yes, it is made out of crickets. It is sitting right there. I'm looking right at it. It's called Jiminy Cricket Dog Food. Yeah, Jiminy Cricket Dog Food. I know. It's kind of gross. But hey, you know what? My bearded dragon can eat it, which is, by the way, a new member of my family. I got a bearded dragon. I rescued one. His name is Big Mac. He was left in an apartment and was abandoned. We think for about 2.5 weeks, which for a bearded dragon is a very long time. With no water, no heat, no nothing. I mean, it was probably hot as hell anyway. But yeah, so now I rescued him. He's got a lavish, can't talk tonight, lavish apartment over there in the other room in the old studio, with a waterfall and heat lamps, and yeah, he's loving life. Big Mac is great, and he gets 35 crickets every 3 days. He eats crickets. So alrighty guys, well, I'm gonna wrap this up. It's good catching up to you. And Christina Frosch is in the house, one of my faves. Anyway, it's good catching up with all of you. I will be doing these again going forward every single Tuesday night. We will have our live chats back. I will be bringing guests on because, yes, that picture right there is an iPad, and I can FaceTime anybody as long as I have their number. All right, so I can make that happen, and this is a whole new setup for me, and this is one of the things that I did while I was on COVID furlough, was I taught myself how to do this the right way, so live chats for you guys were actually better. So hopefully you guys like this. I'm gonna give myself a boom, and I think that I appreciate all of you for hanging around as subscribers. And yeah, that's about it for me. If you guys like this video, please hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you guys all next time. Deuces, as always.